That's the first step in the process. We tumble the fiber to get rid of any dirt, shorts, garbage, things like that. And it'll tumble about 20 minutes, and we'll shut it off.
Is this something of your own design?
Yeah. We saw one once. My dad built it for me so we could tumble the fiber. Alright, this is the fiber washer. It has 3 different chambers inside of it so we can keep track of the different colors, because alpacas come in 22 natural colors. This is the drying rack. We use God's drying method. We use the heat from the window. Comes in through here and it dries the fiber overnight. And the next day it'll be dry. After we get it dried, we'll take it to what's called the picker. And this is where it actually opens up the fiber. So now it's like a cloud. It's super soft, super lightweight, because when the animals lay down, they pack it, their fiber packs down. This is like combing their hair really fast. That's what the picker does.
What is actually happening here?
Right, if you take a shot in there, you can see the drum. And that drum has spikes on it and it's combing the hair really fast. So it pulls it open. Once it gets open, then you put it on these 2 machines. Both of these are the same. They're fiber separators and dehairers. And they actually take the fiber in and process the fiber, and you can watch the thing here. It moves at a snail's pace. I'll show you how slow the fiber moves. That's why we have 2 of them, because it takes quite a while to process the fiber to get. It's trying to get rid of any vegetation like that out of the fiber. So as it goes over the drums, works the worker and stripper. Coarser fiber falls below. Fine fiber goes out the back of the machine. So we have 2 of those. These are the largest ones the mini mill makes. And both of those are to clean out the fiber. Once we get it cleaned out, then we take it to the carter. And that's what most people know about when they're talking about processing fiber. They know about carting it. And that's what this machine's doing. We have the 2 glue lines here. Between here and here, we'll weigh out the fiber, put it in here, and spread it out evenly. So just like this. So it'll constantly feed the machine with the exact same amount. So there's blue lines there and a blue line here. So it shows where to keep feeding the feeds. So then it'll go in. The feeds, we store them up here until we get them going. And that's what these are. Each one of the feeds are ready to pull out. And then we put it down here and spread it out. And the carter works on a process of working and stripping. If you take a look, you can see right there how the fiber is pulling down, and it's starting to actually align the fiber so it's all being combed in the same direction. That's the whole point of the carter, is to line up the fiber and make it all go in the same direction. And once it gets to that worker and stripper, stripping it all through, it'll come out here. And that's what this is doing, is now the fiber is all lined up, and this is what's called roving. And roving is what hand spinners will actually use on a spinning wheel and turn their fiber into yarn. So if we don't sell it off of here, we go to the next step, which is for the draw frame. This right here is a pin drafter, depending what part of the country you're from. It's either pin drafting because of all these thousands of pins, or draw frame. Because what it's doing, it's actually grabbing a hold of the fiber, stretching it 2.5 times. So we'll put 2 or 3 of them together. So like 2 of them will come up, go through, out the other side, stretch it 2.5 times, and it comes out the other side as one piece. The reason for that is if there were any thick or thin spots that occurred in the carter, then it'll actually average it out. So it's getting rid of it. So we run it through these 2 machines. We run it through the machines 3 times to get it as consistent as possible. So I use these leads right here so that I can get the fiber attached, so I don't lose people's fiber. I'll actually take the fiber off of the drum, out of the bin, and pull it up, put it on there, rub that on, and now it'll pull it through the machines, and that's what gets it started. And then I can just take that part off and start again the next time. So once we get it through that, we take it over, and you can see the spinner over here. All of these are the roving cans. The fiber's coming up, being pulled. This actually spins and helps pull the fiber up into the machine. So the fiber's coming through here, down through here, and between here and here, it's spinning. And that spin is actually what gives the fiber its strength. It's the twisting. This drum and this drum are basically people's hands. Because when you're hand spinning, you're pulling it and stretching it out for whatever thick or thinness you want. If I make this one go really fast and this one really slow, it'll stretch the fiber a lot, and that's how you get lace weight, because lace weight's the finest. And so, depending on the speeds of these, depends on what kind of yarn you're gonna get. Right now, this is sport weight, which is the most common for alpaca, since alpaca is actually warmer than wool. So it doesn't need to be real thick yarn. You ready?
Ready.
And you can make your family heirlooms out of it because they'll last. They won't just deteriorate on you. They're really good stuff. Once we get it through that, then we take it up here and do, this is the exact same machine, a smaller version, but it's got the plying rack. So we'll take those bobbins, put them up here, pull them together, and then let it twist backwards. We spin it the opposite direction of the other one. And the reason for that is because it balances the yarn. As you can see, if I have single weight yarn, when someone's knitting, it's wanting to do this to them all the time because it's not balanced. So when you ply it together, you can actually get it balanced. So it'll come back and be balanced. So, and that's what a spool of this looks like. And this is a 2-ply yarn. And it's all spun. It's called skeining. She's creating a skein of fiber. Instead of being on a cone, which is what this fiber is, you can see the fiber coming up that she was wrapping and going across to that machine over in the corner. That's a cone. This is a skein winder where it's just wrapping it up and it'll constantly keep wrapping it. And what she's doing is she's looking for any thick or thin spots, any slubbings that's occurred. Somewhere the fiber has actually slubbed up. She takes this machine right here, which is called a joiner, and actually air spins it. So it will take out the slubby spot and rejoin the fiber back together again as one piece of yarn. So it did the same thing that this spinning machine did, except it did it with air inside of a little chamber. So it brought it together. And these are the actual skeins that she's going to create. Once she gets as many yards on there as she wants wrapped up, then she'll make this. And what that does is it gives the people the actual ability to touch the fiber and feel it. Because when it's on the cone, it's really whitely wound and you can't feel the fiber. But with the skein, you can squeeze it and actually feel how soft it is. And so this is at the end of the tour. We'll take people in and we'll show them the difference between the skein and the cones. So they're all on display here, and they can actually feel the difference and find out what they're like. These are all colored. We do it by acid, the Jacquard acid dye, and the only acid that it actually is just vinegar, and it helps set the colors.